This is One on One. Welcome to our Help for Our Heroes series. We're shooting on location at the Healthcare Foundation of New Jersey. We're pleased to be joined by J. Michael Armstrong, Chief Executive Officer of an organization called Community Hope, which does, Michael?
We provide housing for veterans. We do both residential, we do both transitional and permanent housing. We also do the SSVF program.
What does that mean?
The SSVF program is Supported Services for Veterans Families, and it's a program designed to help veterans and their families either avoid homelessness or, if they become homeless, get rapidly rehousing. And we provide that service in 15 counties in New Jersey and 13 in Pennsylvania.
Michael, why do so many veterans and their families find themselves struggling with housing issues?
Well, I think there's a number of reasons. I think that the lack of preparation. I mean, was a study recently done of individuals leaving the Department of Defense, leaving active duty, and they found that only 40% that were prepared had job opportunities or had a job waiting for them when they come back. And I think that the families, when a veteran comes back, there's a honeymoon period. Everybody's excited about their return, and they don't think about those things. And you've got, here in Jersey, you've got a couple of things. I mean, you've got the lack of preparation for employment, you've got the high cost of living and the high cost of housing, and then you've got the issues, the post-traumatic stress disorder and all the other issues that veterans encounter once the honeymoon period's over.
Let's talk services. The series is also largely intended to talk about outreach, how veterans can reach out, get that help, and also how some organizations are reaching out to veterans to connect with them. A veteran, family member of a veteran right now watching saying, we don't know what we're going to do. Mm-hmm. We're concerned about where we're going to live. They're potentially homeless.
Right.
Who do they reach out for?
They would call us. We have a 1-800 number, and we would help them identify, do they need transitional housing? Do they need permanent housing?
Your number's up right now as you speak.
Right, thank you. And what kind of housing they need and what kind of support we can provide. And if we can't provide it, we would refer them to one of the other great group of people that are gathered here today. We've got a lot of good services here in Jersey, not enough, but we have some, do have some great services here.
By the way, Michael's making reference to really a terrific group of people. We have gathered 12 experts, advocates, government officials, others who care deeply, people from the foundation community as well, who care deeply about helping our heroes, not just the rhetoric that often goes on about, we thank you for your service, which, by the way, I always ask this question, I'm going to ask of you, do most veterans appreciate that expression, we thank you for your service, A, and B, why is it not nearly enough?
I think that they do appreciate it, but again, I think there are so many needs when they come back that, that's nice, but there's a need for employment, there's a need for housing, there's a need often for counseling, assistance with their families, often need for assistance with legal services.
Why go to legal services?
Legal services, I mean, a lot of the people we see in our housing program are individuals who've got mental illness or addiction. And so there are a lot of issues with outstanding warrants, motor vehicular offenses. Sometimes they're in arrear in child support. They don't have proper identification. There are a lot of things that need to be taken care of before they can get back into the workforce. And so we have a consortium that we put together with Merck and Lowenstein Sandler.
Lowenstein Sandler are a prominent law firm.
Right.
And why would Merck be involved?
Because they have a large law firm also, and we've connected with them. We have a great relationship with the pharmaceutical industry, and they volunteered to provide the funding and provide their attorneys. So as I say, we have Merck, Lowenstein Sandler, Northwest Legal Services that help with the individuals we have in residence and our other services to take care of these issues so they can get back in their workforce. They, can do what they need to do.
Why do you do this?
Why do I do this?
Yeah, why do you do it?
Well, I do it. I'm a veteran. I was a Vietnam-era veteran. And for me, it's a great change from, and I was in the service in the early 70s. At that point, if you were in the military, you were a pariah. People couldn't differentiate between the war and the veterans.
Being against the war and being against veterans.
Exactly. Now, at this point, we've come a long way in society. We can realize that you may not believe in the war, but you can certainly appreciate the sacrifices that veterans are making.
And their families.
And their families. families. Yes, so I think that's a tremendous change. But that's one of the reasons I do it. Yeah.
It's partly personal for you.
Yeah.
Final question.
Yes.
Anyone watching us right now in this series, that you'll see these interviews throughout all of our platforms at the Caucus Educational Corporation, our partners in public broadcasting and FiOS, and our digital platforms. But anyone watching right now who wants to be helpful, other than simply saying to a veteran, we thank you for your service, what could and should they do?
Well, I think if they see someone in need, they should, speak with them about it. I mean, it's often tough to do, but I think they should point out the fact that there are services, there's a lot of assistance available. You know, the statistic of 20 veterans a day committing suicide, the reality is a significant number of those are people who aren't involved with veteran services. And so if we get more people involved in veteran services, have access to the services that are available, I think we can cut that number dramatically. But I think to let people know there is help available, that to not avoid dealing with it. I mean, most of us want to tread lightly, but sometimes you have to, in the most delicate, diplomatic, loving way, let people know you got a problem, there's some help available.
Michael, we thank you for your service to our country, but we also thank you for the work you do every day on behalf of the veterans who need it. Thanks so much.
Okay, thank you, Steve.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. This special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Tisch WNET studios at Lincoln Center. Funding has been provided by the Healthcare Foundation of New Jersey, Community Food Bank of New Jersey, MD Advantage Insurance Company of New Jersey, Englewood Hospital and Medical Center, New Jersey Sharing Network, the North Ward Center, and by the Turl Fund, supporting Right from the Start NJ. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.